Sarah's back tonight from Daily Law. We're talking about how the population has changed and is continuing to change. How are you? Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Michelle. Happy to be here.
So tell me what is happening with the population.
Okay, so as you know, I do immigration law, right? So I'm always looking at the immigration numbers. And I think something most Americans don't understand is that we have a slowing population growth in the United States. You know, right now we're a nation of 331 million people.
Okay.
But the birth rate is declining. People are aging. And so by 2030, and that's in less than 7 years, the biggest driver of population growth will be immigrants.
Okay.
And it's not because the immigration numbers are increasing, it's because the population we have, the numbers are decreasing. So we really have to look to immigrants if we want to maintain our economy, which is #1 in the world.
Right.
We need more workers coming in. And that, in fact, is something that is happening.
Yeah, so that's a good thing that there is a way to continue to have a bigger population.
Well, look,
there's
you know,
a pause or a stop that's not making that happen, huh?
If you feel the U.S. should maintain its supremacy, economic
Sure.
supremacy, then yes, having immigrants coming in is a good thing. And in fact, you know, with the waves of migrants coming in from the southern border, we hear a lot about how cities are overwhelmed, which is true.
Sure.
Like Chicago and the migrants, 30,000 coming in, cities in Texas. But there are some other cities not close to the border, like along the Rust Belt of the United States, who would really love to get some buses full of migrants.
I'm so sorry. So tell me where these immigrants are coming from.
Okay, so we're seeing a large flow of immigrants coming in from Venezuela. And what's interesting is the mayor of Pittsburgh this year heard a rumor that buses were going to be arriving in Pittsburgh. So he sprang into action because he wants those buses. He wanted those buses to come. He organized with the Red Cross and city services to welcome these migrants in. So when you take cities like Pittsburgh, they're taking a completely different approach to welcoming in buses full of people coming in because they want that population for their city. And then you have, which I think is really interesting, Topeka, Kansas.
Okay.
Topeka, Kansas, because of their declining population, they're offering a $15,000 relocation incentive for people who are here lawfully in the United States to relocate to Topeka. Because, you know, cities in the Rust Belt are looking ahead to the fact that they need more people to move to their cities. And of course, it doesn't solve any problem if you just rearrange the people that are already in the U.S.
Sure.
You need new people coming in.
Okay.
You know, and I hear all the time, well, we don't have enough room. We don't have enough room for new people to come into the United States. You know, the United States is just under 4 million square miles, right? If you think about the city of Rockford is about 65 square miles. So when you think about mid-sized cities like Rockford and Topeka and larger cities like Pittsburgh, of course there's room.
Yeah.
It's just about managing the flow of people into the United States. So it's great these cities want more people, and there's certainly room for them. But then we have to look back to Congress because we have an immigration system. How old is it, Michelle?
Old.
It's
Very
over
old.
half a century old. We're dealing with an immigration system that was set up in 1965.
Yeah.
I mean, could you
old.
imagine a road that was paved in, you know, 50 years ago and hasn't been repaved since? So it's about managing the flow of people, and certainly the news out in this past week is that cities in the Rust Belt want new people. They want immigrants who are coming in. They need them, and they want them to come in.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can get that message out to everyone, and we can just restructure everything ourselves. What do you think, Sarah?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You can reach out to Sarah at Daily Law Group. You can see all the info on your screen. Spirit Day is next. We're making mistletoe kisses with Amanda, who's waiting in the Mahoney Blue Room. We'll be right back.